Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please keep in mind that I'm starting another channel in tandem with this one, so my regular videos will still be up, but I'm doing another channel. It's called Romie Whispers Asmers. The channel is up. There's no videos up for it, but stay tuned. Let's focus. And How Get Away with Murder came back. I did not expect it to come back this quickly, but I'm not complaining. This is season 5, episode 9. He betrayed us both! So, the episode where Connor and Oliver are married, and they're supposed to have their marital bliss, they're not able to have that due to the fact that they get a call. They keep getting calls from everyone, and they keep ignoring the calls. They can't ignore all of the calls, which is good because we know Laurel just loves to overshare and can't keep quiet to herself. Laurel goes and lets it be known that Gabriel is actually Sam's son, and Gabriel knows he's Sam's son, and Frank and Bonnie knew, and Laurel's known for the past couple of weeks. To make matters worse for them, they have to deal with the fact that Michaela remembers seeing blood on Bonnie's leg. She played it off before, but she remembers now that it was blood, and that freaks everyone else out because they're thinking, oh no, what's going to happen now? What are we going to do? And here goes Oliver saying, well, you know what? Maybe Gabriel's already dead and everything's taken care of. I said, now, Oliver, when did you become the... I wasn't expecting that. Gabriel's still in Annalise's house, and he wants answers. Annalise is drinking again. I mean, she's continuing on. She said, sit down, let's talk. Because Gabriel, he thinks that Annalise is the bad guy. And first, Annalise wants to figure out, hey, did Gabriel, what's going on? Were you here just to play me? He said, no, my mother taught me to care about other people and all of that. And Gabriel, he doesn't know Sam. Because he doesn't know Sam, he's blaming everyone else for the fact that his father wasn't in his life when he has no idea the foolishness that his father was into. So now we have to go and see this time travel. By the way, Bonnie told Frank about what Nate did and her part in it. We go back to 2005. That's when Annalise was in a car accident that was caused by Frank leaking Annalise's information, causing her baby to die. So just to give you an idea what's going on. So Annalise has the braids, she's all messed up. She just came back from the hospital. Frank feels super guilty. He's overcompensating. Remember, Sam knows the truth, and that's a mess as well. Annalise loves her husband, but she needs a child. She just lost a child, so she needs a child to help fill the void. And because of that, she wants to adopt Kristoff. Remember, Kristoff is Wes. So the plan was, so when people were saying, oh, maybe she wants to adopt him, maybe she wants to do it. Yes, the plan was to adopt Wes. That was her plan. Sam said no, because Sam was like, she's not thinking. But here's the other reason. Sam already has a child. That's why he was like, no, we need to raise our child. He tells her that, and then he finds Vivian Maddox, that was his ex-wife, finds her, apparently she lives in Chicago, finds her address, and finds her cell phone number, and calls her up and says that he wants to be in his child's life. So that's how he reintroduced himself to her and eventually his son, at least in some capacity. Bonnie goes and orders some pizza because she needs an alibi. She tips the girl like $16 or something, like $13, $14. That's a big difference. To create an alibi, because remember, they were there the whole time. Now, Laurel calls and lets them know that, oh, she spilled the beans. And, of course, they're looking at Laurel like, you dummy, you big dummy. But whatever, we don't expect too much from you. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? Now, Annalise, again, is talking to Gabriel and saying how Sam, he lied to everyone. He lied to his ex-wife. He lied to you. He lied to me. So how can I be the bad guy? I didn't even know that he was in another situation. See how this whole thing... I didn't know this. Now, Bonnie did grow close to Sam. It was kind of weird seeing Sam. I'm not going to lie. It was weird seeing Sam for the entire episode. Bonnie did grow close to Sam, and because he was her therapist. So when Sam and Annalise were having issues, Bonnie was comforting Sam. Not sexually, but emotionally. And Annalise just kind of had that look of, all right, Bonnie, come upstairs. Come upstairs. I need you to do something for me. I don't have time for all that right now. She said, I know you love Sam, but I need you to do this for me. And she hands Bonnie a envelope, and it was for, child services, because she's going to try and adopt Kristoff behind Sam's back. Sam is talking to Frank because Frank, and remember, Frank's hair was grown now, and he still had the beard as well. Weird combination on him, but okay. He wanted to go and tell Annalise the truth. But Sam already knew that Annalise, she can't take another betrayal right now. Slash, let's be clear, slash, he was so hurt and disgusted by Frank's actions that he figured, let Frank suffer. Let him suffer by not getting the peace that he wants. Which, I guess because of what Frank did, I can understand that. But Sam was also very manipulative. Gabriel's main issue is that Gabriel doesn't believe that Wes just went and killed Sam. Why would Wes just randomly go and kill my father? That's where Annalise had Wes's voicemail. That's the same voicemail that they used to go to the police and frame Wes. Annalise plays it for Gabriel, but Gabriel still doesn't fully believe her. Gabriel just feels like it just doesn't add up. What's his motive? I don't know. Your father wasn't a good guy. It could have been anything. Who knows? The problem occurs when Child Services goes and calls Frank to check in and see, hey, we need your social because we need to do a background check on you. And Annalise kind of forgot that, oh yeah, he is the father, so they're going to have to check into him as well. And so then they have this huge blow up argument. Frank and Bonnie are downstairs, and the main issue is that Sam feels like, I don't want another child that's not ours. I don't want you going and just doing whatever you want. Sam was controlling. I could see it from here. Sam was very controlling. So Sam, he goes and plays a power move. He was just like, oh, so look, it's either the child or me, because I can't do this. It's either the child or me. I'm your husband. What are you doing? Ellie said she's going to pursue the adoption, which meant that they couldn't be together. So now what's left of the Keaton Five are having a conversation. Like I said, they're trying to figure out what's the next move, what's going to happen. Bonnie, she feels really bad. And Frank's saying, Miller, he actually seemed like a good guy. He actually seemed like he loved you. I'm thinking that's not what she needs to hear. He's already dead. The last thing she needs to hear is something to make her feel like it was a mistake. She needs to believe that he was the bad guy, which none of us believe he was the bad guy. Gabriel, like I said, he's still not 100% convinced. So then next move is Annalise has been drinking and popping her pills left and right. I said, she's depressed. She's dangerously depressed, and they don't realize it yet. Frank and Bonnie had a quick little banter, but Bonnie's main thing was, Frank, what's going on? Because there's something you're hiding. And I need to know. But Frank plays it off like, oh, Chicago. I mean, it just wasn't good. Sam goes and tries to visit Vivian and his son, and the grandmother comes out and says, look, you left years ago. And now you come back after all this time. I guess 11 years, so maybe he was 10 or something. After all this time, you want to come into his life? You did the best thing by leaving her alone. Next thing we know, I said, now wait a minute. This child looks just like Sam. Apparently someone said that's Sam's son in real life. Because I said, That looks too much like him. And the bone structure is enough to look like Gabriel from the side. I said, oh, wow, casting. Sometimes things just fall in your lap, and that's just one of them. That's insane. That is insane to me. How much because that's his son. That's his son. So then the grandmother goes and pulls him in when she realizes, oh, wait, you can't be talking to him. Because he was like, Grandma, open the door. I'm ready to come back in. And she goes and, whoosh, what are you doing out there? Oh, anyway. Oh, that was my smart speaker. So now Bonnie is trying to get some rest. And the phone rings. And it's Nate. And Nate said it's done. So now he needs someone to pick him up. And it's going to be Frank. Because Frank already knows. You need a fall guy. You need someone who can cover your tracks. Now we see that Annalise is pumping. She's pumping because remember, her body was getting ready to be a mother. Part of that is producing milk for the baby. So she still had to pump for a certain period of time. Ooh, that's traumatic. I'm sure each time she even had to go through that process, she thought of the baby she didn't have. Oh, I'm sorry for everyone who had to go through that. Now, we see that Child Services called back Annalise to continue the adoption process. So Annalise was excited. Bonnie and Frank again start talking, and Frank still feels very guilty about what happened, but he can't tell anyone because he already promised, he already promised Sam that he wouldn't say anything. Bonnie and Frank, one thing leads to another, and they start kissing and making out. I said, oh my gosh. And they had sex. I said, what? Excuse me? While that's happening, Annalise is throwing out the milk that she won't be giving to the baby. I said, is the milk supposed to look like that? I mean, well, what do I know? But it looked a little... Anyway, she has been drinking. Anyway, Annalise calls Sam and tells him, come back home. Bonnie, I guess she saw the time or maybe got a call from Annalise. She goes back to the house and she's trying to figure out where's Annalise. Annalise is in the bathroom and she took too many pills. And she was drinking. And she was in the process of overdosing. Thankfully, Bonnie got to her in time, got her to throw up the pills, and was there to console her because Annalise was a wreck. She looked disheveled. She looked like maybe she hasn't been able to, take a shower in a couple of days because of all the pain she's been in and just in the funk she's been in. And so they took her to the hospital, and Bonnie essentially saved her. And Bonnie and Annalise were just talking, and Annalise just said, just the love of that child. She loves Sam, but she didn't even think that she would have been able to have a child. So the fact that she was able to have a child but then lose a child, it was just too much for her. And then losing her husband basically in that whole process as well. But she's just thankful Bonnie's in her life. She's just thankful to have Bonnie. So then Frank calls Bonnie, say, hey, what's going on? You got cold feet? She said, no, just checking on Annalise. Don't come to the house. And they were like, oh, I don't regret what we did. I don't regret it either. I'm thinking, but it seems like that was the first and last time you guys did that. Now we see someone showed up at Frank's place. At the time, we don't know who. I figured it was a woman because of the coat. I said, oh, that looks like a nice coat just from that angle. Sam is intercepted by Frank, and Frank gives Sam the letter, the email that he was going to send to Vivian, or that he did send to Vivian. Frank said, here's the deal. Don't ever contact her. Don't ever make contact with your son again. You lost the rights to do that originally. Now you're trying to go and fill the void that you just lost instead of going and consoling the wife that you currently have. You need to go and be a husband. Not be a maybe, not be a has-been, not go and just do whatever you want. Go and be a husband. Go and support your wife. Go and love your wife who is trying to give you a son. And so then he goes upstairs and consoles his wife and hugs his wife. He's has his leg in her lap, partially also touching her stomach. This was an emotionally draining episode. I don't think I was mentally prepared for all of this. Now it comes back to present day, and Oliver was talking to, of course, his husband Connor. With they never got to, they never got to consummate the marriage. The main issue is that Oliver realizes maybe Connor isn't the bad one because Connor's father said that you need to watch out for Connor. You know, he has some demons. He is someone that needs, love and support. I'm hoping that it could be you that does that for him. If not, you need to, back away if that's not the case. But he realizes that he was the one that joked about Gabriel being dead would be better for all of them. I said, no, it just means that you're fully a part of the group. Congratulations. Asher's trying to sleep on the couch. Michaela goes and she's trying to spoon with Asher. Asher said, and I'm glad Asher did that because Michaela is someone of convenience. She is alone, she is lonely, and she always uses Asher to go and be her source of comfort when she should be trying to figure out her own life. But right now, it's really tumultuous time, so I knew Asher wasn't going to go and just let her leave. He said, no, we're not spooning. Feats to feats. And I don't know why I enjoyed that. I don't know why. Now we see a flashback again, and it's of Sam deleting the email that he sent to his ex, Vivian, and because he's with Annalise now, so he needs to just dead all of that. Laurel, she hears her baby crying, goes to him. Baby's so cute. Baby's actually twin girls in real life. But anyway, goes to him, and sees that there's blood on his blanket. So that she realizes, my baby was at the scene of the crime? Just looking at... Okay, I just noticed something. I'm looking at Frank's email. Dean, Summer, Hannah Keating, Dean, Joe. Okay. Because they always leave clues in different places, so maybe that's a potential clue. The episode is winding down, and Frank brings Nate back to the house, and it just looks emotional. Bonnie looks like she wants to cry, but she knows she has to stay strong. Nate just has that look of, I know I messed up, but I was convinced it was him. I'm just going to have to take the rep for this. It was not you, it was me. Whatever happens, just know that it was me. Gabriel is crying, and we see the flashback of he remembers meeting that guy and realizing that was his father. That was his father because they had a brief conversation with the basketball, and I feel like he might have even done that on purpose, like throwing the basketball Sam's way to strike up a conversation because kids are smart. But just looking at that child, and he kept the basketball. And then he called someone saying, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Who is that? And then we see Eve. Eve comes back. So Eve was the person who reached out to Frank all those years ago, intercepted the email, and realized, Eve loved Annalise so much that she would have rathered Annalise be with a man who she knew that Annalise loved, then the relationship just go to smack. And at any case, if it did anyway, she could always come and sweep in and take Annalise. I feel like that was the plan because, like I said, she gave Frank the email of Sam reaching out to his ex. And so then she gave that email to Annalise, I just guess to confirm that she's always been in the background trying to protect her. All these people trying to protect Annalise, and she's trying to protect her. It's a cycle. So now I'm thinking, the person that Frank kept calling was Eve. He kept calling Eve because Eve kept dropping a dime. They kept dimes on Gabriel's activities to make sure that they were never truly caught off guard. I said, wow, this show, their minds, this show. But this episode was to reintroduce us to what's about to happen next. That's what this episode was really about. And so it ends there. I'm assuming that that's the same person that that Gabriel was also in communications with. It's just what makes sense. It's just what makes sense. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Oh, oh Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Snowmageddon 2019. Let's go.